In this video, we're going to show you how to modify a toilet by adding a cutout along the back rim of its toilet tank without needing to disassemble the tank from the bowl. In a separate how-to video, we show how to do a similar mod with a brand new toilet where we were able to access the backside of the tank with a hole cutter bit and drill. But this is not going to be the situation that most customers will find themselves in. The Potty Sniffer kit comes with tank cover spacers that may be used in situations where an air vent cutout is not included in the design of the toilet tank or toilet tank lid. In most cases, this is an acceptable solution since the gap isn't very noticeable when looking down at the toilet cover with its normal height being below the waistline. But for a cleaner look, the toilet tank can be modified with a cutout for tubing and switch cable pass-through and allowing for the lid to be fully closed. There are other ways to do this, but we recommend using a diamond hole cutter and drill to complete the modification. These are available at most home improvement stores that carry tile and tile cutting tools or online through Amazon. The key points to follow when cutting a hole in porcelain are: 1. Start at a 45-degree angle. 2. Use very low force and let the tool do the cutting. 3. Apply a slight wobbling motion to help with the cutting. And 4. Stop regularly to keep the tool face wet. Before beginning, use some cardboard to protect the finished wall behind the toilet. We are using an old Mansfield toilet tank that already has 2 factory air vent cutouts that we could have probably used, but we're going to pretend they aren't there for the demo purposes. And same for the round practice hole on the right. It's also a good idea to verify the final position that the drill will be oriented in to make sure that it can be reached without any obstructions. Start by spraying some water at the location of the cutout. Start at a 45-degree angle on the corner edge of the rim and at a fairly fast drill speed. Hold the drill with 2 hands and focus on holding the drill in position rather than forcing the cut. Let the abrasives of the hole cutter do all the work. Once 2 small starter grooves have been cut, stop and spray some water on the grooves before continuing. The final cutout size needs to be at least 3/8 of an inch wide and 1/2 inch tall to fit the diameter of the tubing and cable. We are using a 1-inch or 25mm hole cutter for this demo, which will give us the minimum 1/2 inch height as a half circle cutout. Start to grow the size of the grooves as you slowly roll the drill down towards horizontal. Take your time, then stop again to spray more water. As the groove becomes more pronounced, you can begin to apply a slight wobbling motion to help with the cutting action. The wobbling also helps to oversize the groove so that the drill bit is less likely to bind and grab during restarts. Repeat the process a couple of times until you are as flat as possible with the orientation of the drill. Keep focusing on the positioning of the drill precisely rather than trying to add force to the cut. Let the diamond abrasives do the work. You can see that as we rolled down into the cut, the hole position drifted downward slightly so that about 2/3 of the hole is now below the rim line. This is okay since having that small amount of extra overbite helps to keep the drill bit in position during cutting. Run for a few seconds, then stop to add more water to the cut groove. You can apply a little more force, but do so gently so that the hole cutter doesn't get overheated and so that you don't break through the other side and damage the wall. When you are nearly through, dial back on the force and focus on cutting cleanly through the rest of the cutout. When you finally do get all the way through, make sure that you're holding position on the drill rather than trying to push it through the hole. If you take your time, don't apply too much force, and let the diamonds do the cutting, this is actually a very low risk modification to perform. You can also use the hole cutter bit, as we are doing here, to open up the overhanging portion of the cutout to make it more U-shaped. Finally, use some water and paper towel to clean up the overspray and porcelain paste. Be careful with the larger shards, which are going to be as sharp as glass in some cases. To finish, mount the push button on the front of the tank and route the switch cable and connector out the back of the tank. The air exhaust line can also be brought into the tank through the cutout and connected to an air intake shroud. Replace the cover, and we're done. Check out our other how-to videos and gallery for more information and other install examples to help plan for your own sniffer system installation.